there, YouTube. Matt's with Matt's Art Box. I got another video for you. This time we're going to talk about Inktober for this year. This was the first time I ever did it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through my sketchbook, let you see the materials that I used, and at the end I'm going to give you some advice from kind of what I learned on this one. I'm really happy that I did it this year. It kind of really sparked my creativity a little bit. This is the first time I really experimented with cross-hatching, and it brought a lot of attention to my Instagram account. We jumped from 17 to 31 followers, which I'm really excited about that. Sorry, changing the seasons and my voice is starting to go. But the biggest improvement was actually the likes. You know, if you saw the 1 year anniversary video, you saw that my Instagram account at that time had up to just a little over 400 likes. By the time I got done with Inktober alone, I had over 500 likes within a month. So that was, I mean, not only did that get me good exposure for Instagram, it drew in new followers and new fans, but it actually made me a better artist, and I do recommend it for anybody. It doesn't matter if you do one of the knockoff ones or if you do the true one from Inktober. I mean, like, I started watching this other channel called Dr. Rock Art. He let his subscribers choose what he drew for the month, and he did superheroes. He didn't follow the prompts like everybody else did on Inktober, but I mean, I'm happy with just the basic one for this year. Who knows, I might do more than one Inktober next year. It just depends on how quickly I get better as an artist and how much time I have. That's the biggest thing right there. But you know, Inktober was very easy. Anybody can do it. Just get you a pen and pad of paper, do your drawing, follow the prompt, and then just go onto any type of social media. It doesn't matter if it's TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Just make sure you give it the proper hashtags, you know, hashtag Inktober or hashtag Inktober 2020 or 2021 for next year. And then make sure you do the, just have fun with it. I had a blast doing it, and I can't wait till next year. So let's go ahead and jump into the video, and I'll show you what happened with my sketchbook. Alright, here is our sketchbook. I'll go ahead and open it. On this page, I did a few tests just to see what the line weight would look like with each individual marker. I also had a list of the whole prompts for the whole Inktober. And we'll just go ahead and move to the first page. We had just a rough draft of an idea I was toying with for the first day prompt fish. And this is the monstrosity that came of. I just let my mind and my imagination go free, and just one thing led to another, and it ended up making me laugh, so I called it a pretty good piece of artwork. And here we were working for some kind of rough character designs for day 2, which was Wisp, which could also mean a frail man, but I decided to go another route. Sorry for the dogs in the background. My 2 pups are sleeping, so if you hear them snore, I'm sorry. But anyway, for Wisp, I decided to do straw, and straw, gotta go with a scarecrow. I was really happy with the way this one turned out. Took me a few hours, but I was really happy with this one. And this was day 3 for bulky. Just drew this over muscular dude. This is when I really kind of started to experiment with cross hatching. I know it's not right, but I mean, that's what this channel's for. It's to grow and learn. Here was some facial features that I was kind of testing out to see how I'd like him to work. Some eyes and mouths. And these were some basic sketches that I was doing for day 4, which was radio. And I was kind of just like doing like a basic pose, just trying to get my proportions. and I decided to go like this. This one actually came out really well. This one kind of became one of my favorites. And just a quick rough sketch for another idea. Some of these I actually experimented with some actual drawing, you know, to come up with some ideas for whatever the picture was going to be. Some of them that just kind of came out. And this was what came to be of the day of Blade. And these are some rough drafts for Rodent. No lie, that one took me a hot minute trying to figure out what I'd do with it. So I decided to make this one a little bit more cartoony. It was kind of hard because I was wanting to make sure that this whole first Inktober that I did, I wanted it to be, you know, me. I wanted it to actually increase my imagination and actually make me become a better artist. I could have went through and done regular pop culture, anything. I mean, I could have done Splinter from, you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but I decided I wanted to push myself. So I came up with a evil cybernetic rat, and I was happy with the way that he came out. And fancy, I just kind of drew a woman walking around in a long dress. I don't draw females that often. That's one of my biggest downfalls. But I want to continue to work on these so that way I can become a better artist in the future. And here I was doing some rough drafts for the prompt for teeth. And he came out pretty gnarly. I was happy with the way that he came out. I'm happy with pretty much most of these. A few of them became some of my favorites. Some of them, yeah, I could kind of forget about. This one came from the prompt of throw. And I kind of drew this like kind of steampunk night elf kind of throwing daggers like an assassin type character. And here, I don't really draw angels or anything like that too often, so I was kind of just working with it. And the prompt for this one was hope. And I just kind of decided to draw like this warrior archangel kind of character. And I was happy with that. I was really happy with him. Disgusting kind of threw me for a whirl. But then I decided to try to think about fear instead. And then I was like, well, what kind of fears would be disgusting? So then I thought of triphobia. And I started messing with some of the proportions, trying to get a pose right. And then I came up with this. A character covered with holes. To kind of do a mixture of disgusting and fear. The concept behind it was good. I would have liked to have went into a little bit more detail, but I was happy with this one. And this one is the day of Slippery. I just kind of do this kind of half cartoon, half anime character driving or sliding down a slide. And this is some kind of plays that I was working with for the character or for the prompt Dune. And the idea behind it I liked. The execution, not so much. This one could be one of the ones that I could forget. And for this one, this is Armors. Another one that I just kind of let my hand go and do whatever it wanted to do. So I ended up drawing this steampunk armor gentleman kind of character. I was really happy with the way he came out. And this was my rough layout for the prompt Outpost. I don't do backgrounds all that often. This is another thing that I need to work on personally. But overall, I was kind of working with kind of testing the 1 and 2 point perspectives a little bit here. And this became the final product. This also was one that I was kind of testing out a new type of ink pen. and it ended up smearing a little bit on the top here, but overall this became one of the most popular on Instagram, if not the most popular. I'll have to recheck my numbers, but I was happy with that one. And this one was me working on some designs for the prompt rocket. I kind of just decided to make a character that likes to shoot rockets. I thought he turned into a pretty cool character design. I think I kind of use this pose a little too often. I'm gonna have to get me some new figure drawings. Blank page, that's odd. And this one was some ideas for Storm. And that became my end result. Character caught in the storm with a broken umbrella. Kind of had a bad day. That was day 17. And this was me testing out an idea for day 18's trap. And that's what came to be of Trap. Just a character looking over a giant pitfall that he made. And this one was for Dizzy. I just kind of thought it'd be cool. This cat knocked this planter down on his owner, caused him to get a little dizzy. Had to lean on his dresser. Had the kind of old school Dizzy symbols going over its head. And Coral. Coral kind of gave me an issue. It took me a bit to figure out what I wanted to do with it. So I decided I would just do an animal that came from coral. So I decided to draw a few clownfish in their sea anemone. Drop a comment down below if you'd like to see more of like this kind of artwork on the channel. If you'd like to see more like animals. You know, not just all superheroes and cartoon characters. I can draw others. And a bleed through page. And just messing with some character faces for Day of Sleep. And I ended up drawing a dude passed out asleep from drinking his potion. And then we have Chef, who I ended up drawing a kind of slender, evil chef character. Maybe could have been somebody that might have been in The Incredibles. Who knows? Next page. Yeah, we just had a little rough doodle, which turned into this. For day 23, it was R.I.P., but it didn't really specify if it was RIP or if it meant rest in peace. So I decided to do both. I decided to draw a Reaper who is taking a ripped up teddy bear to his final resting place. Let's see, a little cartoon character design. Doing another pose. And then we have Dig, which I drew as a kind of character. Could be a superhero, could be a villain, who knows. But he uses his two main arm cannon drills to actually burrow through the surface to get to wherever he needs to go. Called him Diglett. Maybe after the Pokemon, who knows. And here we was just kind of working on a few just kind of like facial sketches. And then right about now is when I started to watch One Piece. So I was kind of drawing the Luffy logo. And there is day 25, Buddy. Kind of drew this big brother kind of just hanging out with his little brother. Kind of see a resemblance. And we have another bleed through page. And we have some rough sketches, trying to get an idea. And we have day 26, Hide, which we got this little character kid kind of hiding in his bed from the monster that's coming up from underneath of his bed. And we have some ideas for music, which at first I didn't quite know where to take it, so I just drew this little musical note. The next thing I know, I ended up drawing this little kind of skull character. But then I was like, well, I want him to kind of work into something. But then I thought about our previous drawing, radio. I'm like, well, that's cool if I could just tie the two of those together. And so I did. And this one is probably my favorite, if not top 3, because I like the way that the line work went on it. I like the cross hatching that I tried to do, and the fact that it actually tied more than one picture together. I thought that was a cool idea. And we have day 28, which is Levitate, where I drew this kind of superhero in training, working on his psychic ability to levitate a vase. And kind of an idea for day 29 for Shoe. At first I kind of thought I'd draw like his big monstrous shoes, but in the end I didn't like that idea. So I decided to draw this kind of character, kind of his old school gentleman. And then I gave him massive feet. A lot of people like this one here. That was day 29 for Shoes. And this is day 30, Ominous. Just kind of this weird, creepy character. Veins all around him with no eyes. I like the way this character design came out. I might redraw him in the future. He might have a story, who knows? And just kind of got this character pose. And this was the final drawing. Day 31, Crawl, where I drew this kind of torn up zombie crawling in his trail of blood, with that kind of little dagger coming out from where some kind of survivor was trying to take him out. And that was it. All of that. Within a month, while making YouTube videos and doing other pictures for Instagram, while working a full-time job. That took me quite a while, but you know what? It made me a better artist, and I am extremely happy with how it turned out, and I can't wait till next year. Next to the tricks and tips. Alright, for the first part, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over a material list. You know, from the first part of it, you saw, you know, the sketchbook, the the eraser, the Tombow markers, Micron, and pencil. That was what I decided I would try to start with. What I ended up doing, I kept using this sketchbook, but overall, that's what it needed to be, is a sketchbook. To get the finished pictures, what I actually am going to do next time is I'm going to use the same paper that I actually do for my YouTube videos, which will be this actual Canson marker paper. The problem that I ran into a lot with this sketchbook paper is where it's so rough and it's so textured, it just killed the nibs on these markers because of where they were so fine. I ended up going through probably 5 of these, and it took a while to get everything in, especially with everything going on. Same thing with these. I ended up going through 3 packs of these because it just killed the brush tips on them. But one of the biggest things, I got, you know, the 03 for small lines, and then I got the Tombos to do the outlines, but I never even considered to get something to do the big lines. And I ended up going through all of those to use as my background black colors. Oh, wait, sorry. And that one. Granted, these two are Copics and they're refillable, but it was incredibly difficult to get the ink in, the refillable inks, which now I've got, you can't get the big ones right now. So they ended up coming out with these little guys, which is good. These will still refill it for a few times. And it seems to be a little bit easier with the nozzle. But, yeah. I ended up using the Sakura pencil for most of it. But then halfway through it, I decided to try something different. And I got this kind of cheap mechanical pencil. And then I filled it with red lead just to see how I like it. And I kind of do like it a little bit better. It doesn't show a lot of the gray marks whenever you go to erase it. So I do recommend starting to do your basic line work with this. Then go to this to do your rough details. Then to go to the 03 micron to do your actual line work. And then to finish it off with the Tombos. Along with using this regular pink eraser, I also used this electric razor. It had the replaceable pieces that you can put in it, and in little areas it made it a little bit easier. Now, another thing for a lot of the lines, I had to have this ruler, and then when I did that big outpost picture, I had to use this one here. And that was pretty much it. I mean, what started as just in a actual sketchbook turned into all of this. So, if you all are planning to do an Inktober next year, I would recommend a few things. Get you a regular pencil. The red one is optional, you don't have to do that. That's just something I kind of like doing halfway through it. But I do recommend you get you at least 3 to 4 dedicated fine line markers that you can do for your small details. And then some kind of marker. You can use the Tombos. I really like these. I started using these after I watched the channel Dr. Rock Art. And I'm happy that I switched to those. And then you've got to have about 6 to 8 some kind of dedicated black marker. Doesn't matter if it's Sharpie or if you get some of these Azure markers, Copics, whatever. As long as you have something that you can use to do the dedicated black areas like shadows. And then always get you a regular sketchbook to work in for your rough designs, and then get you some marker paper so that way you can actually have a finished product. And make sure you have a ruler. But the biggest tip that I can actually give you is just to have fun. Just let your hand do whatever it wants to do. And if you truly enjoy it and you just kind of let it be free, you are going to like your end result. And that's it for this video. I'm Matt from Matt's Art Box. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you drop a like and a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.